It's the first show of the 4th season of the DIY Dish, and you know what that means. It means we're making another pincushion to add to your collection. I'm Kim. And I'm Chris, and you're watching the DIY Dish. It's so good to be back with a new season of the DIY Dish and to be a part of the new channel called My Craft Channel. And as you probably have noticed, we've made a few changes around here.
Yeah, we definitely have. First, the setting. We are so excited to be filming from Chris's new shop called My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop. Isn't this place gorgeous? Here's a few photos that will help set the scene, so to speak, on what a fun and inspiring place this is.
Oh, thanks, Kim. We've been open for about 4 months now, and it has been such a thrill.
Yeah.
And thanks to seasoned sponsors like Target, Joann Fabric, and craft stores, YouCanMakeThis.com, My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop, and more, we're going to be able to bring you all things fabric related. So if you love fabric like we do, we think you're going to really enjoy this season.
Now, if you've been following our show before, you know that we like to carry on a little tradition here at the DIY Dish with making a new pincushion. So season 1, we made the official double layer cake pincushion.
Yeah, that's right.
Season 2, we made an owl that sits up on your shelf.
Very cute. And in season 3, we invited designer Joel Dewberry to share his design for a bird pincushion.
Isn't he a cutie?
Oh, he is.
Yeah, him and the bird.
That's right. And that leads us to our new season. And what are we going to make?
Well, it's the DIY Dish dress form mannequin pincushion. We thought these would look so chic sitting next to your machine, and they'd be fun to make for all of your friends and family who love to sew too.
So here's what you're going to need. First of all, you're going to need 1 fat quarter. Now, a fat quarter is an 18 by 22 inch piece of fabric. You'll want to pick up some polyester stuffing, about 1/4 thick foam board. That's going to be for the bottom of it. A little bit of felt, a mini Christmas ornament.
And we'll tell you why
Yeah,
in a
I was
minute.
going to say that might confuse you a little right now. A candlestick, a button, and some hot glue.
It's really easy. So are you ready to get started?
Absolutely.
Okay, here's what you need to do. First of all, go ahead and download your free pattern at thediydish.com. And here you're going to have the pattern for the front, the sides, the back, and the bottom of that
Now, doesn't she
pincushion.
look slimming?
Yes. Once you have downloaded that, go ahead and lay out your fat quarter here. And then take your pattern and placing that arrow along the grain line, you're just going to put the front and the back down and cut 1 layer of each. All right. Then you're going to place that side piece and cut 2 of those. All right. Once you have done that, let's go ahead and move that over.
Okay.
You're going to have something like this. So you'll have your front piece, your back piece, and your 2 side pieces. Now, one thing you want to note is that on the side piece of that pattern, there's actually a little notch at the very top of it, just as you see here. Make sure and cut that notch onto your fabric because that's going to help you with the placement of the side. Okay? Now, the first thing we want to do is go ahead and laying right sides together. We're going to take the front and back piece and line them up here at the neckline over to the side. Okay? And just pin that in place in a couple of spots.
Now that's not going directly over top, is it?
No, it's not. You've got a little bit more fabric here on the back.
Okay.
This helps give those nice womanly curves there.
Okay.
And then starting at the top, you're going to use a 1/4 inch seam and go ahead and start stitching, and then you want to back stitch all the way around this curve line to the end of where the shoulder is.
Right at the shoulder.
Once you do that, you're going to do the same thing on the other side over to the shoulder. Again, that 1/4 inch. So why don't you go ahead and do that, Chris?
Okay, I can definitely do that.
Okay, easy enough, right?
Right.
Okay, once you've done that, go ahead and pull that out from your machine and take your scissors to that little neckline and just make a few little clips there. We just want that to lay nicely when we go to turn that inside out, just at
Always
the
helps
curve.
to flip the curves.
That's right. Okay, now from here is where you're going to put on the sides. This is a really easy project. In fact, if you do a bunch of them at the same time like I did, as you can see, you'll be making these for everyone in your family. Okay, now the important part to note here is that you want the bust line to be facing towards the inner curve, the front side, right?
Okay.
Makes sense. So make sure you do that. And matching that little clip that you made earlier, you're going to first pin it right up against your seam line there at the top. Okay? All right. So go ahead and pin that in place. And then here's how I figured how to do this through a little bit of trial and error. The best way to do this little curve line is to start pinning at the top, but then actually pin it at the bottom next. Okay?
Okay, so you're matching it up.
Yeah, you're matching up the hem line
Precisely.
there, right? On each side. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to match it up on that side.
Okay. And then you're going to ease those pins in, right?
Exactly. And then from there, you'll pin, pin, pin all the way along the front and up through the bust line and then down on the back side as well.
Sure.
So by doing that, you're going to make sure that it's going to curve nicely and your fabric's going to line up just right. Okay. So that's the trickiest part, if there is a tricky part. I think everyone can do this. It's not going to be a problem. But pinning it at the top first and then at the bottom is really going to help that process.
That's a great tip,
Okay.
Kim.
So let's go ahead and pin that the rest of that side. All right, so here's my tip, Chris, on sewing this side piece.
Okay.
You actually will want to start from the bottom where the hem is and sew up, again, that 1/4 inch all the way around those curves up to that top seam where you pin the shoulder at.
Right.
Okay, stop there, back stitch, and now starting again from the bottom on the other side, sew a 1/4 inch all the way up the back side, stop at that seam at the shoulder, back stitch, and then you've got a perfectly inset shoulder.
How fun.
Okay,
That
so
sounds
try it
great.
out.
Okay, I can do this. It's great. What a fun project.
Yeah. All right, so now with just a little bit of polyfill stuffing, we're gonna go ahead and
Stuff away.
stuff away.
Okay. This is really a fun project to do with all different fabrics too. There's so many cute fabrics out there.
You can see how many I made because it was addicting.
You went a little
There were so
crazy.
I did, but I got to thinking about all my friends that I need to make some Christmas presents for. I even thought about my daughter who's 12 years old, and I thought she would love to have this in her room.
She would.
And add maybe her earrings or her
Necklaces.
So
it doesn't have to be just a pin cushion.
Absolutely. Think of it beyond the pin cushion.
Absolutely.
Right. You'll want to
love
put
it.
a little bit more stuffing right there in that bust line. Just like that. That kind of reminds me of junior high.
You didn't. You didn't go there, Kim.
Okay, so you're about 1 inch away from that bottom there. Now this is where that foam board comes in. You want to go to your local craft store and find foam board in the art section where it's about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 inch thick. You just need something that's going to be nice and sturdy for this to set on, right?
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to want to put that inside there.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. And now this is when you get out that hot glue gun.
I love the hot glue gun.
Oh yes. And we're just going to glue a few spots right there. Down like so. Just finish it off there on the bottom. Now we got to put that little knob on the top. And as I got to thinking, now what could we put there? The first thing that came to mind was those little dresser drawer pulls, right?
Sure, yeah.
And so if you have some of those laying around, that would be a great thing to put there at the top.
Perfect.
But an even cheaper option, and still just as cute, is that now in the craft stores, they actually have the little mini ornaments that you can purchase.
Getting ready for the holidays.
Yes, and so look at the fun colors you could have.
Wow.
Again, it's a little Christmas ornament.
Look at all the
You've got
glitter.
silver and green and blue and gold. I mean, there's all sorts of colors you can choose from.
Yes.
And all we are going to do is finish
Just gonna
this
put
off.
some glue in there.
Stick some glue in there. Stick our little ornament in there.
Oh,
And now you've got...
I can't believe how perfect that went in.
So now this little gal has to stand up on something, right?
Right.
And so I thought, let's break out those candlesticks
Yes, ton of
and
good use.
just add a little bit of hot glue. If the glue doesn't work for you, then using something like E6000 would be a good alternative as well. Put it there across the rim. Lay her right there on top. Press it for a few seconds, and voila, you've got the mannequin pincushion.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
That is great, Kim. What
Yeah.
a fun project.
I hope you like it as much as I did, because this was a really fun project. But Chris, there's something that we do here at My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop that we absolutely love. It's kind of this signature of like what the employees wear here. And why don't you tell everyone what that is?
Well, it's a frayed fabric flower. And so we're going to, of course, add one to her. So what I did here was I just tore a small thin strip of fabric.
Yeah, it's about 3/4 inches wide by about 10-inch length.
Exactly.
Okay.
And now I'm just gathering it. A simple gathering stitch with needle and thread along the bottom edge. Pull it through for a gather and tie the ends together.
This makes a really cute flower brooch, of course, for the mannequin, but you can imagine the possibilities for the hair and the handbags and all kinds of things.
Exactly. I'm going to do a few tack down stitches here.
Okay. Then, of course, you have to finish it off with a jeweled button.
That's right.
There you've got your little fabric flower brooch. Pin it right there on your little mannequin, and voila, you've got the official DIY Dish dress form mannequin pincushion.
That's right.
Wow.
I love it.
Try saying that 10 times fast. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other finished photos.
You know, I can also see these being so cute in a little girl's bedroom, as you mentioned, with your daughter, or even for your teen to hang her jewelry on.
Yeah.
I just love it. And now before we end, let's take a look at some of the projects coming up this season.
To close, we want to thank you for joining us this season. Whether this is your first viewing of our show or you've watched them all, we want you to know that we appreciate it. This episode was made possible by youcanmakethis.com, where you can instantly download patterns and instructions for all kinds of DIY projects, as well as My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop, where you can find kits for these mannequins and a whole lot more.
And don't forget, we always love to hear from our viewers, so feel free to drop us a note or even send in a picture of your most recent project.
We want to see them.
Yeah. You can find us on Facebook as well as the DIYdish.com. Thanks for joining us today. We hope that you felt creativity was served. Bye-bye.
Bye.